Hey there. Welcome back. You ready for this? We're going deep today, like really deep into something I think you're going to find super relevant. It's all about personal growth, that journey we're all on. And get this, it's totally intertwined with how our relationships grow and evolve too.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about those big breakthroughs, the kind that really shifts things. And the crazy thing is how much self-love plays a part in building those connections that feel so good. The ones that lift you up.
Totally. And the best part is we're going to break it all down. Like, how can you actually spot those moments when you're about to level up? And how does loving yourself, like really truly loving yourself, actually make those healthy relationships possible? So yeah, today it's all about those big aha moments, figuring out how to see them coming and how self-love fits into the picture. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it. So we've been digging into some awesome sources. One of them talks about these like major life expansions, and they point to some really clear signs that this kind of change is brewing. What stands out to you?
Well, this whole idea of discomfort and restlessness that really grabbed my attention. You know that feeling when things just feel off? Like what used to be okay suddenly isn't. It's like you've outgrown it somehow. Is that just me being picky, or is there something more to it?
Oh, I think you're onto something. It's not just being picky. It's more like your inner self is saying, hey, you've hit the limit here. You need more space to bloom. Like when a plant gets too big for its pot. It's not a bad thing. It's just a sign it's time to move on to something bigger.
Okay, so it's not about being unhappy. It's like a signal that you're ready for more. I can dig that. What about those sudden endings or shifts? Those could be rough,
Yeah.
right? How does that fit into growth?
For sure, they can be tough. But sometimes, it's like life has to clear out the old stuff to make room for something new. So maybe it's a relationship that ends or a job that changes or even just a habit you finally break. It can feel like a curveball, but it might actually be the universe or,
Yeah.
even just your own subconscious, creating space for something better, something that's more aligned with who you're becoming. It's kind of like fall, the leaves drop off so new growth can happen in the spring.
Wow, I never thought of it like that. Letting go, even when it's hard, can make way for something amazing.
Mm.
Right.
Oh. Okay, what about heightened intuition and awareness? That seems less in your face, more internal. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's subtler. Like you might start really paying attention to your gut feelings about people or situations,
Yeah.
or you start noticing patterns you didn't see before. Maybe you have those crazy vivid dreams, or just this stronger sense of knowing. Like deep down, you just know something. It's like your intuition is getting a power boost, helping you find a path that's really truly you. So it's like tuning into a different channel inside yourself,
Mm,
right? Then there's this thing about opportunities appearing out of nowhere. It's like once you're on that path, the universe just starts handing you exactly what you need.
you got it. When you're open to growth, like really open, and your energy is focused on that growth, you become a magnet for possibilities. Those opportunities might have been there all along, but now you see them because you're looking for them. You know how it is when you decide you want to learn something new and then suddenly it's everywhere? That's what we're talking about.
Oh, totally. It's like the world shifts to support you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're seeing the signs. We know growth is coming. What's the mindset we need to actually embrace it?
So the source goes on to talk about these mindset shifts that are key. The first one is huge. It's about seeing change as an invitation, not a threat. That can be a tough one, right? We're kind of wired to resist change.
Yeah, change can be scary. We like what we know, even if it's not working anymore. How do we actually flip that switch in our brains?
It's all about perspective. Instead of thinking about what you might lose, what if you focused on what you might gain? What could this change open up? What could you learn or experience that you haven't even imagined yet? It's about curiosity and adventure instead of fear.
So it's like saying yes to the potential instead of no to the risk. I dig that. And then there's embracing uncertainty with trust. That feels like a real leap of faith.
It is, it's a practice. And it's not easy because we all crave certainty, right?
Mhm.
But growth means going into the unknown. There's no map. It's about believing that even when you can't see the path clearly, there's something bigger guiding you. Even if it's not what you expected, it's trusting yourself to handle whatever comes your way.
Okay, so you don't have to have all the answers, just the trust that you'll figure it out. I like that. What about commitment to self-investment? What does that look like?
That's where you become an active participant in your growth journey. You're not just along for the ride. It's about putting in the work, whether that's learning something new, facing your old wounds, or just spending time doing things that feed your mind, body, and soul. It's like investing in yourself.
Awesome. So we're spotting the signs, we're shifting our mindset. What are some actual things we can do to kickstart that next level?
The source lays out some really practical actions you can take. The first one is declutter your life. And this isn't just about cleaning your house, right?
Oh, definitely. It's bigger than that. It's like clearing out all the mental junk, too.
Yeah.
the limiting beliefs, the emotional baggage, the relationships that don't serve you anymore. It's about making space for something better.
Exactly. It's about being intentional about what you allow in your life, both inside and out. Then there's this one. It sounds simple, but it can be so hard. Saying yes to new opportunities. Why do you think that's so important?
Because it pushes you out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
The things that scare you a little, those are usually the things that help you grow the most. Saying yes opens doors to new experiences, new perspectives, a whole new you.
You nailed it. Growth rarely happens when you're comfy and cozy. It's about taking those chances, even when you're a little nervous. You never know what you might discover about yourself. And to stay on track with all this growth, the source talks about daily alignment practices. What do you think they mean by that?
Well, it could be things like meditation, taking a few minutes to quiet your mind and connect with yourself, or journaling to sort through your thoughts and feelings and get clear on what you want. Maybe even just setting intentions for the day or visualizing your goals. It's like checking in with yourself regularly, making sure you're still on course.
Exactly. Those little things make a big difference. They help you stay connected to who you are and what you want, even when life gets crazy. And lastly, the source talks about surrounding yourself with growth-oriented people. Why do you think that matters so much?
Because who you hang out with influences you so much, right? If you're around people who are positive, who are growing, who inspire you, it's like a super boost. It pushes you to be better. But if you're surrounded by negativity or people who are stuck, it can drag you down. It's like planting a seed in good soil versus bad soil.
Such a good point. The people around you can either help you grow or hold you back. So as you think about all this, what feels like the most important thing for you right now?
Hmm. I think decluttering is huge for me on all levels. And really being open to opportunities that stretch me, even if they're a little intimidating.
Oh.
Okay, so we've covered recognizing and going after personal growth. Now let's switch gears and talk about self-love and how it's all connected, especially in our relationships.
Right. Our second source dives deep into this idea that self-love isn't just a nice to have. It's the foundation of healthy relationships. It's like the bedrock.
And it's important to be clear about what we even mean by self-love. It's not about being arrogant or thinking you're better than everyone else, right?
Not at all. The source breaks it down like this. Self-love means valuing yourself, recognizing your worth, and setting healthy boundaries. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and respect you'd give to someone you really care about. And when you do that, it creates this amazing, strong base for all your relationships to flourish.
So it's like an inside job that affects everything outside, too. How does self-love actually show up in our relationships?
The source talks about three main areas. First up, emotional stability. When you love yourself, you don't need constant validation from your partner or your friends or even social media.
And it makes so much sense. If you're secure in yourself, you don't need everyone else to tell you you're okay. It takes so much pressure off.
Exactly. You can trust more and worry less about things like jealousy. You're not always trying to prove your worth through other people. The second area is healthy boundaries. How do you think self-love helps us with that?
Well, if you know you're valuable, you know what you will and won't accept, right? You're more likely to say no to things that drain you or to walk away from situations that aren't good for you. And you can communicate your needs without feeling bad about it.
Yes. When you don't love yourself enough, you end up people-pleasing and overextending yourself and putting up with things you shouldn't because you don't think you deserve better. Self-love gives you the strength to stand up for yourself and protect your energy. And the third area is so interesting. It's about attracting the right people. So basically how our self-love affects who we bring into our lives.
It's like the energy you give off when you love yourself attracts people who vibe with that same energy, right?
Exactly. You draw in people who appreciate and respect you for who you are. The relationships become about mutual support and connection, not about trying to fill some emptiness or complete each other. The source makes it clear healthy relationships should add to your life, not define your worth.
Okay, so what if we're seeing some red flags in our relationships? What are some signs that maybe we need to work on our self-love?
The source has some great insights on that. Always needing validation from others is a big one. If your self-esteem depends on what other people think, that's a sign.
That puts way too much pressure on the other person and on yourself. What else should we watch out for?
Struggling to say no and ending up feeling drained or resentful, that's a classic sign. You're putting everyone else first and neglecting your own needs because you don't think you're important enough. And tolerating disrespect or bad behavior is another red flag. If you don't think you deserve to be treated well, you'll put up with things you shouldn't.
That's a tough pill to swallow, but it's so true. What else?
Feeling unworthy of love, happiness, or success, that deep down belief that you don't deserve good things, will sabotage everything. and staying in bad relationships because you're terrified of being alone. That comes from not being comfortable with yourself. The source reminds us that just noticing these signs is the first step to changing things.
Okay, so if we see ourselves in some of those signs, what can we actually do to build more self-love?
The source gives us some really practical tools. Practicing self-compassion is a big one. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a friend who's having a hard
So
time.
instead of beating yourself up, you're cheering yourself on. I like that.
Exactly. You're your own best friend. Then there's setting boundaries. We talked about this before. It's a real concrete way to show your self-respect. Learning to say no without feeling guilty is huge.
Totally. It's about protecting your time and energy and your heart. What else can we do?
Engaging in self-care is essential. It's anything that nourishes you mind, body, and soul. Could be getting enough sleep, eating healthy, exercising, doing things you enjoy, or just taking time for yourself. It's about being good to yourself.
So it's making those choices that make you feel good physically and emotionally.
Exactly. And challenging negative self-talk is so important. You know that voice in your head that's always criticizing? Learning to recognize those negative thoughts and replace them with positive ones can make a huge difference. It's like rewiring your brain to be more loving.
It's about being aware of those thoughts and talking back to them in a kind way.
Yes. And finally, the source emphasizes spending time alone, which might sound weird, but it's so powerful. When you can enjoy being by yourself, you connect with yourself on a deeper level. And that inner peace and happiness doesn't depend on anyone else. Being alone doesn't have to mean feeling lonely when you truly love yourself.
It's amazing how it all comes back to self-love. Recognizing those moments when you're ready to grow, embracing the unknown, taking those leaps, it all ties in with how much you love yourself. And that love spills over into your relationships, making them stronger and healthier.
It's all connected. Your personal growth and your self-love, they feed each other. And that self-love helps you create those deep, meaningful connections with everyone around you. It's a beautiful cycle.
This has been such an incredible conversation, so much to think about. As you're listening, I want you to consider this. What if you really embrace those times of personal growth with self-love as your foundation? How would that change your relationships? How would it change your life? It's a journey worth taking, and we encourage you to keep exploring it. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Thank you.